Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday Tirade Entertainment Talk Show with myself and Mr. Tom Connors of Midnight's Edge, Midnight's Edge After Dark, Midnight's Edge Archives, Midnight's Edge Espanol, Mead Radio 1, Mead Radio 2, Midnight Snacks, and all kinds of other midnight things. How's it going, Tom?
I like turtles.
I like turtles, too. I'm wearing my Tom shirt today.
I see that.
Yeah, it's my Tom shirt.
I'm wearing my...
Oh,
it looks like I'm your Huckleberry.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Yep.
I'll be your Huckleberry. Oh, look at all these great human beings joining us today. We're 2 minutes into the show. The show had to change. The show had to change because things happened. Tom, did you see that things happened? Tom?
Nah, are you talking about Twitter thingy? I heard.
I am talking about.
I haven't been keeping up with nothing, but yeah.
Twitter thingy. Yeah, Twitter thingy. Yeah, it's like a chupa thingy. Right? Chupa thingy. Anyway.
It's not trending for me anyhow, but yeah.
It's not trending for you.
No.
Yeah.
I got Rams at 49ers for some reason, Lolly, USB-C, and
Lolly?
Latest on Ukraine.
Why? How are you getting lolly?
Like Lolly, Loli. I have no idea. It's trending. It's some weird anime shit, it looks like.
Yeah, but I mean, they're trying to make Rebecca a lolly, or they're trying to say Rebecca.
I guess. I don't fucking know. I don't even know what that is. So, I couldn't tell you. I'm not up to speed on that stuff.
All right. I don't know. I'm not up to speed on a lot of things, let me tell you, but I think it's very interesting.
Why am I so shy, Stevie J? Because as you can see, I have a face for radio. And yeah.
Look, I'm the eye candy on this stream. I'm here to be easy on the eyes, ladies and gentlemen. So
this is the truth.
We were going to talk about some of these media companies really trying to tell you they were turning the corner. Warner Brothers telling you that they weren't like for sale, and that they were. Paramount and Warner both saying we're pivoting back to theatrical, which is pretty clear. And Sony never left that space. So really, it's just kind of Disney. And I don't know who else is staying there. I mean, who else is in, just hell bent on, putting material into their streaming service instead of the theaters, right? Comcast, Universal. So Universal Pictures, maybe, although they're still kind of mixing it up in between, but that's not what we're going to end up talking about. Well, a little bit probably, other than beyond my mention here, but we're going to talk a little bit about this Twitter thing, because every time that this happens, it's it's an event because people just go full right? Remember, I think you were actually coined the term the final re.
I did, and yes, that would be a time when we hit a point where those children in charge right now realize they're no longer in charge.
It's kind of weird, right?
In doing so, they will act like a bunch of children and stomp their feet and burn the whole thing down on the way out if they can.
Well, the problem is if they were to do that, they would be in so much trouble.
Like
If
many red-haired land whale or pink-haired
or
freakazoid.
yeah, but there have been multiple times today that the what do you call it? The trading on Wall Street has been halted for Twitter.
If they have blue hair, I like to call them blue belugas.
Oompa, loompa, doopity.
Doopity-doo.
There you go. I've got another.
So yeah, so what's going on here? Did Elon buy it? Is he now the tweeter?
He's trying to complete the sale before the court date. So he's going to go ahead at the original share price that he offered at $54.20, which includes the premium. So it's going to actually end up costing about $44 billion.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, dude, that's like what, 1/6 of his worth. I don't know. Anyway,
still a lot of goddamn money.
So originally when they reported it, the news was based on anonymous sources, but it came out of Bloomberg. So this is high levels of accuracy. Reuters actually just released that this is happening. So I'm sure they got multiple sources. So they're essentially shares jumped 13% all the way up to 47.95, which means people are going to get a premium on top of that to bring it up to 54.20. And we'll see what happens. So, Bloomberg reported Tuesday that Musk made a proposal in a letter to Twitter, according to people familiar with the case who are not identified. There's also, and I'm not sure if it's in this statement, but there's also a private confidential filing that was put out as well. So Musk has been trying to back out of the deal for several months after signing to buy the social media platform in April. Shareholders have already approved the sale. Musk claimed that Twitter undercounted the number of fake accounts on its platform, and Twitter sued when Musk announced the deal was off. Neither Twitter nor lawyers for Musk responded to messages seeking comment on Tuesday. Of course, they're not going to say anything. The trial seeking to compel performance, I'm going to put it that way, is set to start in Delaware Chancery Court on the 17th. So he just wants this done off his plate, and then he can say whatever he wants to about Ukraine, because I mean, ultimately, I feel like maybe that was the compelling reason for him to move forward with this deal, is he just got hammered by the bots yesterday.
Well, I hope it really becomes a bastion of free speech like it should.
Well, it was. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it ever really has been.
It was originally. I mean, the thing is and this is one of those things. Any of these platforms used to be started, by people with quite open minds. Jack Dorsey, if you got to read some of the tweets that were released, not tweets, but text messages, all those things, because they basically disclosed a bunch of stuff to the public that was happening behind the scenes. And Jack Dorsey's revealed, like, this is not what this was supposed to be. We've got to fix this. He's complaining about the activists brought into the board, and he's trying to balance that with Musk, and you end up with all this stuff. So, this thing could go through. And if that's the case, I'm not going to even say it could go through. It's likely to go through rather expediently. And we'll have to see about what actually occurs. But what happened last time, just when he announced that this was happening and everybody was doing their level best, all of a sudden people were brought back on the platform. The shadow banning stopped. People weren't being muted or censored quite as much, et cetera, et cetera. That's very amazing to me. Hey, what's up, Jason? I'm going to be hanging out with Jason tomorrow. Looking forward to that. But apparently, Hamdinger says Dorsey's homeless. He's worth like $2.4 billion. I don't know how homeless he is. He looks better now. He shaved that weird beard off. I don't know. Well, what happened, Alf Jeebus? Anyway, we got a lot of people here. Pretty stoked. Let's see. Who's in the house? Elon by Twitter again? Yeah, really this time though. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. You don't use Twitter all that much other than for like DMs and advertising crap, right? I mean, every once in a while you're a little snarky with somebody, but you don't really use it a lot, do you? I feel like Tom's muted. I still feel
What
like
am I snarky about?
Well, no, on Twitter. Sometimes you're a little snarky on there. For the most part, you just use it for like direct messaging and like promotion, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like I don't really know how to tweet anyway, hardly. So
I feel there's a lot of factors that play into this, but we need to acknowledge the chat because we just got started right away because this is actually still
hi
kind of
chat.
Hi chat. Olaf was asking, hey, did you get the news on Elon? Yes, I changed the thumbnail and everything else, so absolutely. Hey, Jordan Lee's asking, Andre, have you seen a clip of Joe Rogan and Quentin Tarantino talking about Conan? If Andre were here, I think he would answer that question. He still may pop in, don't know. But Toxic Man Flu, oh, what a lovely human being, drops a $50 super saying, here's enough to buy one share of Twitter with Elon culture. Do us all proud. Well, thank you.
Just enough, yeah. But now YouTube took 30% or more.
Yeah, I'll cover it. Thank you very much, Tox. This was very generous, my friend. But I'm
depressing.
What is?
That they take so much.
I know. We're gonna solve that problem. We're gonna circumvent.
Why do you think we have to take so many ads? Because they just don't pay us. Don't pay it at all, hardly. It's like
yeah. Jeremy did a video, saw that. Yellow Flash did a video, saw that. Clownfish TV did a video, saw that. And I think you're right, Dr. Dragon. And I mean, Tom, did you see any of those messages, the instant messages and text messages that were bouncing back and forth that were leaked to the public? So in a filing, they were released kind of out into the public. And you don't want your dirty laundry, man. I'm tired. You don't want your dirty laundry out there in the world. And I mean, this was exposing a lot of people that were interested in becoming either a part of this deal as a finance partner, or people that were saying thank you for doing this and stuff. So a lot of people that kind of got exposed, right, to about all of this. So I guess Elon, between those two factors, the messages getting out there and the fact that the bots came after him yesterday, I think he just said, you know what, F it, I'm just gonna buy it, and went full dog. I really think so. I think that's where we're at, but I do think that contributed to it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm kind of surprised he didn't just let the court thing go through, but
it's flappy. Yep. I'm looking forward to it. Do you if it becomes a free speech platform, like an actual free speech platform, what do you think? You think that is good, bad, different?
The wokey wokes will vacate.
Yeah.
And you will probably have the media and Hollywood take it less seriously, because now it's all the rage, But yeah, at this point, I just it's going to be good for us, but I don't see it necessarily making a big difference overall. I don't think they're actually going to acknowledge the change.
Yeah. And Marx, this is a brilliant observation, and I agree with you. I believe that he will have case for fraud once he can establish the number of bots. Yeah, I think that this sets everybody up on the board, and anybody that's ever made a public statement about that, for some real pain. So, but we'll see. Lots of folks dropped in here. We got War Monkey here. Obviously, since you're here, Hamdinger's here. Kitty Bear's here. Katina Martin's here. Alf Jeebus is here. Yeah, kind of a little bit. D Bud Martin's in the house. Darren Hughes is in the house. I think I already said Stevie J. Tom is feeding his turtles. Oh, okay. Dapper Bard Games is here. Let's see. We got Black Has is here. Captain Phantom Nerd is here. Obviously, Toxic Man Flu is here and with his wallet. Thank you, Tox. Let's see. Culture Casino's magical mushroom log. Thank you. I got notification you were going live, but not for the actual live. That's so weird. That is so weird. I did a video. No, wait. Here's the funny thing. I recorded the video for tomorrow already, and it had references to Twitter, and so I had to go back and cut an insert that Grant's going to have to figure out how to stuff in there. So it's going to be funny. Willie's here. Willie says, is it just me, or am I the only one who sees Elon owning Twitter is the same as Bezos own WAPO? I think it's different, dude. Bezos uses WAPO for agenda purposes.
I see where he's asking, though. I mean, if you really want to think about it, it's not like Elon couldn't use Twitter in the same way it's been used as a propaganda tool for the past, 5-10 years or whatever.
Right.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, I'm not saying that Elon would. I'm just saying that it's possible.
Dude, I really wish Twitter would do this. Das Wolfen has entered the chat. I wish that it would announce people like that. I think that would be awesome.
Well, they did a study, and vegetarians are twice as likely to be depressed and more than likely to starve, just so you know. But that's neither here nor there.
How do you know that?
That's just a fact.
That was random information.
Meat rules.
Why did we get random?
That's what I bring to the table.
Okay. Yeah,
I have very little to add to this. That's the problem. Like, what am I supposed to say? I'm happy for it, but at the same time, like Elon Musk is Elon Musk. I trust him about as much as I trust any other billionaire. I mean, has he shown me that he's done more good than some? Yeah. But he's also a billionaire. So at the end of the day, he's one of the 1%.
Well, yeah, he's actually one of the 0.025.
0.01% or whatever, yeah.
In fact, he is the leader of the club, to be honest with you. He's the number one richest dude in the world.
It's not like he's going to make me a millionaire, so.
You don't know that.
If he does, then I'll praise him to high heaven.
There you go. Alf Jeeba says they will still use it. They are just mad because they can't ban and silence people. How many of them moved to Canada when Trump won?
None.
Yes. Yeah. Not. Zilch.
I say all those that bitched about that should have to move to Detroit for a year.
Yeah, Olaf, we brought this up the other day that Twitter is not nearly as popular as it used to be outside of the U.S. Less than 20% of the people have an account or use it. I think that'll go up.
It's actually less than that, actually.
But I think that'll go up, honestly. It's weird. Again, when people don't have fear of being banned or censored, I think you're going to see.
I mean, if he means bots, yeah, but I mean, as far as the world populace, like, Twitter isn't really a speck, barely. Like, only a couple 100 million people use Twitter. There's almost 10 billion people in the world. Like 8 point something.
Talk about bros. Well, terrible marketing. Reportedly quite a bad film. Lacked star power, despite what Billy Eichner thinks of himself. It had an adversarial marketing campaign, which I mentioned right at the beginning, but and being surprised that the people that you demonized in the trailer you released or made fun of in the trailer didn't show up for your film is tone deaf. I don't know, Tom. What do you think?
Sounds like you need to stop the press and start.
Awesome. Happy birthday, Mr. Grant Gregory. And thank you for giving me the $2 Australian super chat present. It's weird, dude. You're not supposed to give me money on your birthday, but thanks, man. Good to see you. A couple more supers that rolled in. Culture's mushroom
There's
log.
your birthday song.
Meme time. Yeah, you got it.
Sorry, you said Culture's mushroom log. It's meme time.
That's right. Tom's ass watched The Imperfects for €2. The Imperfects news. Tom, have you watched The Imperfects?
I love the part where the guy got bit on the ass by the raccoon.
What now? All right.
Yep.
I'm going to have to watch this thing.
I
And of course,
am too.
Jay Rascal is here with seriously the coolest avatar ever. I love that so much. And I've been missing you, my friend, for €1.99, or excuse me, for €1.99. Although we're at parity now, basically. So it's basically the same thing. I'm here. Representation. Remember? No, I'm glad you're here. Actually, I'm curious what you think of Bros, my friend, and how it was marketed. But we'll see. Twitter should have bought the rights to Lord of the Rings. Oh, Elon. Elon. Yeah. Elon.
I was going to say Elon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'd have done it much better either, though.
Yeah. Samurai Vader's like, Twitter's already a propaganda tool.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah. And looks like Samurai Vader, happy birthday Saturday.
Oh, what's happening now? Whose happy birthday?
Samurai Vader Saturday.
Really?
And his mother's today, he says.
Well, congratulations and happy birthday to both. My goodness. I love it. Man, this is so cool. Like this one period of time, like there's like, have you ever noticed there's like birthday clusters? Like just people like have like certain months at certain times at certain months, there's like a billion kids that were born then.
Well, in my family, we have like a couple of days where there's a shit ton of relatives who all share a birthday. There's like a couple of those days in the year. So it's clear that our family likes to fuck in certain times of the year. So, yeah.
There you go. See, that's what it is. And thank you for waiting 20 minutes to use the bomb, my friend.
I did. That. I'm being good.
I never heard this. Have you heard Joe Rogan's birth dad is suing for defamation? Joe and Spotify, unless Joe has a showdown on his podcast exposing Joe's lies.
The fuck?
I haven't heard any of that. So
the fact that he's calling himself his birth dad doesn't add any real credence to what he says.
Yeah, that's weird. I would be like
birth dad. When you use the term birth dad, that usually is a replacement term for deadbeat dad nowadays.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Valentine babies. Yeah, Mr. Gray. Well, yeah, you can usually tell it's either like around some event, probably some camping trip, what have you. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that happens. I mean, like family reunions. But usually it's snow, right? Snow events, like big snowstorms and stuff. There isn't anything to do because you can't go anywhere. So what do? You do-si-do with your partner. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Around, kick them in balls and throw them to the ground.
There you go. We've got I keep circling back to my desire to open a used bookshop and walk away from all the circus. No social media at all. Good luck.
You know, that's the thing is, yeah, I don't want to discourage him at all, but like,
first of all, I would miss you here.
Yeah.
But
I have a local bookshop that's for sale right now, and they have more records, I think, than they do books.
Yeah, vinyl sells really good right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to discourage him. I mean, sure, maybe in his area, a bookstore might do fine, but do kids even know what a book is anymore?
I don't really think so. And well, I mean, they know what they are. I don't know how many of them have like really in depth
actually cracked one open. Yeah.
The Gay Rascal thank you, my friend, for £4.99, or excuse me, €4.99. I don't know what's going on in my brain today, but not gonna watch Bros. I can name a dozen good gay films if you're interested, starting with My Beautiful Laundrette. Yeah, I mentioned one in the video I did where, I mean, look, The Birdcage wasn't that long ago.
Well, since we got the gay rascal here, I'll ask him, because I had a few gay friends that had commented on this, and they said this. They said that 9 times out of 10, most of these gay romantic films or comedies are usually pandering as fuck, and they just as soon watch the typical rom-com that most people watch. Like they'd rather just watch your standard Richard Gere, Julia Roberts, or whoever Ryan Reynolds, insert male here that she's with this year. Now it's J-Lo taking that over.
Well, I mean, seriously, like Sandra Bullock films, right? I mean, those, Sandy.
Well, he says yes, so
usually popular. Yeah.
Well, they
See,
said it's because of the romance of the on one side is more genuine, and then a lot of the gay films, my friend said, they're just pandering as fuck. They said,
but I think it's just, and it also is not. It's not a clear message. I mean, this particular film, based on everything, every review, every lengthy review that I read, and everything that's out there, is not representative of like romantic love or of long term, fidelity based,
well,
partnership.
and they turn it into being all about the sex aspect, right? This is something we've seen across the board for a while now. It's as soon as there's an LGBTQ representation, it's all about that, right? And then we recently had this where Florence Pugh is upset because in her new movie, everybody's talking about the whole sex scene in it. And so I don't know if you want to share my window here.
Of course, that's crazy.
But on this note, she put out there, when it's reduced to your sex scene or to watch the most famous man in the world go down on someone, it's not why we do it. It's not why I'm in the industry, she recently told Harper. I'm like, so why aren't gay and lesbian and trans and other actors and whatnot saying the same kind of thing? Like, I don't see anything wrong with what she's saying. I'm not disagreeing with what she's saying. But my point is if there's an LGBTQ character in the movie, then it's all of a sudden about who they fucking. Like, look at what's going on this morning on Twitter. I didn't see nothing about Elon. Only one person told me about it. What I saw all over Twitter was that, guess what? Velma is lesbian now. And I'm like, and water's still wet? Because like, that was the joke from when we were kids.
Yeah.
And they made fun of it in the Scooby-Doo movies and shit. Like, yeah, that's like, talk about low-hanging fruit. So she's officially gay now. Good for her. Like, who cares? Except for Velma and whoever she's fictionally fucking, I guess. Sorry, I didn't mean to go down that road, but I mean, yeah, okay, so anyway.
Look, it just brings me back to the period of time that I think started in the mid to late 80s where nobody cared.
No,
nobody cared. We gave up on it, and we gave up on we abandoned any kind of bigotry or any of that. Everybody was fair game for humor. We were much better off. And
you had plenty of gay characters, and it wasn't about their sexuality, right?
No,
it was just about who they were in their part.
Yeah, I don't even. Like you said, I mean, and these I swear to God, some of these people are so out of touch with reality. And again, that's partly because of the way Twitter and other social media platforms are governed. And if they weren't, wow, apparently I'm going to print. How do you print this screen? That was nuts.
You pushed a button.
Yeah, that was weird. But because of how it's governed, it puts you in these weird, outside of reality rabbit holes that don't reflect like everything else that's happening. You didn't see the news about Elon buying Twitter, right? And yet here we are, and he did. And in fact, Twitter actually just released a statement that just disappeared from my page. Oh goodness,
you are not prepared today.
I was. The problem is this news got smashed in my face. And
Dash Attack says Velma had a crush on Seth Green for $2. Yeah, I know. But guess what? Every woman, and I mean almost every woman, is like 3 drinks away from going total lesbo. Just saying.
Well, 3. Well, sometimes it takes more, but
depends on how hard it drinks. Yes, but
yeah. Gosh, I'm trying to find this. This is actually from Twitter. I cannot find this. They literally just released it.
Do you need Twitter finding music?
I'm looking. Anyway, so they came out and made a statement about it, and there's that. Yay.
Boomer Casino.
I'm bad at this, man. I you know what? I should take a break.
You know what Elon needs to do? Make Twitter easier for us boomers to use.
Right. Let's highlight this. Not because it's me, but because it's Das Wolfen, who's been here for 4 months. Thank you, my friend. He says, "Wow, I've been here too long." No, just long enough. Yeah, just watch Jeffrey from the 90s. No, oh gosh. Woo, the salt for that one, gay rascal. Oh boy. Have you seen the Dahmer thing?
No, I haven't. I've been it's been on my radar to watch, of course, especially, me being from Wisconsin. It's, one of those things, but I've been wanting to, I just haven't had a chance to yet. I've heard it's, I've heard it's pretty good though.
I heard it's pretty good. I mean, there's a certain guy that that makes good stuff, and I think he's gay.
That happens.
Dash
I like to remind people that 90% of the shit you've been watching for your entire life, guess what? Most of the people that made it were probably gay.
Yeah.
Just
saying. Ryan Murphy, who I consider, very qualified when it comes to horror and things like that.
It's like people like Joel Schumacher didn't even fucking hide it. In fact, he embraced the shit out of it with Batman and Robin.
See, and that's the cool thing, because that's the era we're talking about, right? And then we get now. Anyway, Dash Attack shot me a member chat, says one gay guy I saw talking about it said it sucked. Yeah, look, people are going to have hit and miss on things, but don't attack somebody if they don't like what you made. I
hear the main problems is the stereotypes, right? Like they have a gay orgy scene, for instance. Yeah. And then there's a big, huge debate about the don't say gay parental rights thing. And the climax of the film, which the movie had, I guess, and I haven't seen the movie, I'm just reiterating what Chris had told us yesterday.
Right.
And the climax of the film has to do with this, I can't remember if he said it was like an art show or an art gallery, but it's LGBTQ driven. And this whole debate on whether or not these 6 or 7-year-old kids are old enough to be able to see it. And in the end of the whole climax is them bringing the kids to this presentation of whatever sorts it is. So there's that big whole debate with it too. So, and then you add in just the insult to injury with Dickhead going out on Twitter and saying, oh, if you don't go see this, you're a transphobe or a homophobe or whatever phobe he threw out there. I don't even remember anymore.
But I don't really feel like one of those,
Well, sometimes you feel like a nut and sometimes you don't, Culture.
That's true. I don't know. I think it's going to be weird because we're going to watch the meltdown on Twitter all day today because of this news.
Look, I ain't gay, but I ain't never been to prison either, so.
We watched the Twitter meltdown yesterday because of bros. We watched, and then the day before that it was She-Hulk. It's like the constant melting down is just bonkers. And thank you to Willie and others who are getting rid of the chat XYZ badness.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Dash Attack. It's poor fanfic when it comes to the Scooby-Doo mess with Velma. Yeah. Now, is this the one that Mindy Kaling was working on, or is this a total different one? I don't even know. They've got so many stupid projects out there anymore.
Well, the animated one is dead, even though it's
this is a new one that they just put out. Like, yeah, they're advertising it or something. I don't know. But Velma's gay, and I don't know if it's in one of the new shows or what. I really don't give a shit. That's about where I'm at.
Right. Pilgrim Media wants us to smile, Tom. Turn the frown upside down.
Smile, like in that movie.
Do you realize that that's Kevin Bacon's kid?
No. And that would be Kara Sedgwick's daughter then?
Yeah, what's her name? Josie Bacon?
Is it? Okay. Yeah, I can see she looks like her mom then, if that's her mom.
Oh man.
Because they've been together for how many years?
10 million.
I was gonna say they're one of the few Hollywood couples that are still together besides Goldie and Kurt, so
yeah. Hey Biggles. Let's see.
But no, yeah, I did not know that she was next generation. That's good to know.
Matt G's like, bots. Yeah. See, I said bots, and then they all show up. Say hi. Hi, bots. It's because there's 76 amazing human beings in here. That's why. Wait, Fred is gay?
Well, yeah, of course. He wears that fucking scarf.
I kind of think it's cool.
No straight man dresses like that.
Are you sure?
I've done the voice of Fred for a fan film. I should know.
Okay. There. Okay.
I played him as gay.
Sci-Fi for Me TV says new at Culture Casino show. Meltdowns. Yeah. It's like daily.
Gosh, Scoob. This guy's penis tastes just like a penis.
Zoinks, Scoob. You guys are bad.
Red's always taking us to wacky bars.
Dust Wolf, and I wish they would stop. I wish the meltdowns would stop. I can only ingest so many liberal tears. And again, it's not actually. This is we've got to refine our language. It's not really like liberals.
I'm sorry. It's an ascot.
It's a extreme.
Now who's gay?
Are you still talking about the scarf?
They're saying it in the chat. I'm sorry. Read Das Wolfen's thing.
That's fine. It's an ascot. Why? Why does it? And first of all, I don't care. It's a cartoon. And then it was a live action thing. And then it was a cartoon. And then it was a live action thing. And now it's back to being a cartoon.
Sean wants to know what kind of research I did for that role. I just tried to sound like Frank Welker.
How'd that work?
That's all. Well, you heard my voice there. That's about what it sounded like.
Well, that sounds pretty good. Right there. Can you do Space Ghost?
Zorak.
Oh, thank you. All right.
Welcome to Space Ghost. Kind of, if I had to listen to it again. It's been a while, but I can mimic most voices close enough if they're in that range. Frank is one of those that I love because he can do shit no other man can do with his voice. But like, yeah,
it's true.
He's the topmost of the popmost, in my opinion.
Is there any monkeypox in the movie? I'm sorry.
You get monkeypox if you go see it, I hear, or at least your chances go up.
Stop it. Look, it's you might have to might put you in timeout today.
That probably would put me in timeout.
I mean, as humorous as that is, it was a real concern for the timing of the release of the film and the making of the film. I actually even mentioned that in the video I made, but it's one of those. It's one of those things that we have to acknowledge, right? And it's a problem. I mean, it's a health problem. It just,
yeah.
Tom needs an assistant so they can boop his nose when he gets distracted by our silly chat.
Six does that once in a while, but she's been so busy lately. She works tonight, so she's not here to keep me in check. And Andre's not here either, so.
Yeah, but Mags
did have the link. So. Well, Mags is here. Wow. Mags is fun, though.
Yeah.
Like, she's bubbly fun.
I know.
That was a fun stream. She had great energy. She needs to do more of those.
I wish I had energy. Do you know how long it's been since I've had energy?
Since I was 12.
Oh boy. Hey, Culture, be nice to my Tom. No timeouts for my Tom. Okay.
Is that your figure that Andy did online? I saw that, Mikey. Is that you?
Yeah, Mikey's got
just like him.
Mikey's got a great figure. What do you call it? Andy did a great job with it. Sci-Fi for Me TV says, I like the idea of an official nose booper. Me too.
You hear that? Culture is attracted to you, Mike. He likes your figure.
Ooh. Did you see me? Did you see my thumbnail?
I'm spicy because I'm shaped like a bell pepper.
Yeah. There are 2 days in a row. Two days in a row I had topless like thumbnails. I know.
You were muscular.
Yeah, I wish that was me. I'm trying to get there though.
So whose body is it then?
I don't know. You know what? Grant does those. It's not me. Cavatino.
Oh, so they're in his personal collection.
Yeah, exactly. He said, do I have low T? No, I'm good. My testosterone's nice and we're good. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of question is that?
What one? What happened? What was it?
Do you have low T?
It doesn't bother me. I don't care. It's a joke. Look, I'm going to get to this one. Andre's here. Oh,
I heard a boop.
It's the boss man. Okay, time to be good.
Hey, how's it going? Sorry I'm late.
No, I'm grateful you're here. This is going to be a short event show because there's not a lot of news other than
I've been driving him nuts for 20 some minutes now, Andre. That's why he's glid you're here.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard anything. What happened?
No, I just been picking on him the whole show.
Anything? You didn't hear this?
Well, that I heard. This was
Oh, okay.
impossible to get. I'm so happy. I'm so happy about that. Like, and I saw like the current CEO of Twitter. He was like tweeting out, I've just realized I'm going to be fired. And
Yeah.
he was probably expecting to get like sympathy and stuff like that. Seeing the comments was pretty delicious.
Yeah. He is going to get fired.
Yeah, there was not a lot of sympathy to be found.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine. And Tom is supposed to be my Twitter machine, and he's not looking at Twitter at all for me. So, but no,
I
this
still
is
got like stupid shit like lolly fucking trending.
what?
I don't know why it's trending for me. I don't even know what the hell that is.
It's not a good thing.
No.
Well,
what did you say was trending? Lolly?
Yeah.
LOLI. Yeah, and then I click on it and it's like this shit from that cartoon that everybody wants me to watch.
Okay, it does not sound like a good thing because there are different ways to use that word, but one of them is definitely not a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah, reading some of this shit, yeah, this is dumb.
Yeah, not good.
Why is this trending?
Don't know. Don't want to be any part of that.
Lame. And then force trending by entertainment is Werewolf by Night. It only has a lousy 2,000 tweets, though. That's how you know which one's being advertised or paid for, or however you want to put it.
Yeah, I take it Hellraiser is not being advertised, so that's going to bump
No,
completely on it comes on Hulu on Fridays. We're not going to get a sequel.
Somebody tagged me in some images, though. Here, let me look. I think it was Trey Chester. I can bring those up.
I don't want to see anymore. Like now, I just want to see the movie.
Yeah, it's just
as soon as possible. I can't wait for it.
Well, it comes out in what? In less than 24 hours. Yeah. Or just over 24 hours.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be midnight, won't it? In the US?
I just realized I have to watch She-Hulk in the middle of the night tonight.
You don't have to.
I do.
You don't have to do that. That's
I do. I do. I'm going to be asked about it on multiple shows this week, and
that's true. You probably will be. You have to know how awful it's going to be.
Here's more lamentation.
That looks cool.
The modes of
manipulation. Wow.
Don't stick your finger in the hole, you idiot.
That was, now it's going to get
I would not stick my finger in a hole like that.
No, and see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we got another picture of her. So there you go. There you go. Or they, whatever.
I'm okay. I really am looking forward to this. It's just that I'm disappointed that it's a Hulu thing.
I mean, everything I keep seeing, considering how much they didn't spend on it, like it looks very well shot. Like I don't know who their cinematographer is or whatever, but yeah.
I consider this every single bit as big a waste as sending Halloween straight to Peacock.
Yeah, that's also dumb.
You did watch the new 2, didn't you, Andre?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm waiting for the newest one come November or whenever.
Wow.
It comes in about a week and a half, actually.
Wow.
Oh, really? Already? Oh, okay.
Yeah, October 15th, I thought it was, wasn't it? Culture?
I think you're right.
Or 14th or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That early.
Who knew? Let me look.
Yeah, that's the last day of Latino Heritage Month, or what is it? Did I do that right?
October 13th, actually, technically. I mean 14th. Yeah, so I was right.
Isn't it? It's like the last part of it.
I couldn't tell you, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it goes from the 15th to the 15th.
Well, and I can.
So basically, the week after Hellraiser.
Yeah, it's coming into theaters as well, but it will be on Peacock, I believe, at the same time. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. I like the previous two.
Like, I understand why they did Halloween Kills on Peacock at the same time, even though I thought it was a dumb move.
Because of the timing. Yeah.
But them doing this makes no sense.
Yeah, like I'm so annoyed because this just means that we're never gonna get the sequel to this Hellraiser movie, and I think that this could be a really, really good one, fleshing out the mythology in awesome ways, making us want more, and then we won't get it because it's gonna flop on Hulu. Because that's not the place for it.
Willie says it's on the 14th, the Friday, which is his birthday. So there you go.
I don't know, Andre. I mean, like I said, there's been a little bit of buzz for this. I see it. I mean, I'm not.
Of course, there's going to be buzz, but I think it would have done fairly decent had it gotten a theatrical release or a joint or literally any other platform, because putting it on Hulu, which is a US exclusive service, and it's not getting like a day and date release anywhere else, which means basically you've given away the international market to piracy. Yeah, I know it's going to be on Disney Plus some places, Star Plus some places, most places is not going to be released until who knows how many months later. So basically you're going to lose that international audience. And in this day and age, you can't do that kind of staggered releases anymore, especially not for tiny little flicks like this.
Well, I'm not trying to be like disagreeable at all. I mean, I'm trying to look at it as kind of a glass half full kind of thing. Like, I think maybe that the buzz that this movie is getting might get a little bit more attention than the franchise is used to, and as long as the budget isn't too high, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't do another one if it does well enough. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, it's not like the budget's like, what did we hear what the budget was? Like 5 million, something like that, or not even?
Like I don't know that we actually heard that.
I think it was around 1 or 2.
It has to be at least 5 minimum.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the budget is, but as long as it's around that 5 million range, 5 to 10. Well, look at it this way. Halloween Ends is 20 million, and that's the most I think they've spent on these new movies, because I remember Halloween 2018 was about 15 million. And I think they spent 17 or 18 on the last one. So they spent another 2 on this one. So that means they gave Jamie Lee Curtis probably another $1 million. And then, yeah. So, I mean, I can understand to a point where they can sacrifice Halloween, but I just can't believe they're sacrificing that much of a box office.
Yeah.
Or do you think they're doing, well, actually, here's another question. Do you think maybe they're doing this now because of the reaction they did have to the last film? Because a lot of people didn't like that last one. I'm not oblivious to that.
Wasn't the last one mostly set in, or wasn't this one mostly written and largely set in stone by the time the last one opened?
Yeah, they rewrote it though.
Okay.
Halloween Ends is a $20 million budget.
Because originally the trilogy was all supposed to be all in that night. And that's why they cut that one sequence out that was in every trailer. Remember where you see her leaving the hospital with the knife? Or I don't know if they had it in your trailers over there, Andre, but it was in every trailer here. And it's not in the movie. Because they changed the ending of this movie so they could jump a year or 2 ahead. Actually, it sounds like it's 4 years from the latest trailer. But yeah.
Never got any trailers here. Straight to DVD.
So they time jumped this one up to 2022. But originally, the original plan was for all 3 movies to take place in the same night. The next film was this one was supposed to end with her leaving the hospital going to go after Michael.
Really?
Yeah. And they got the alternate ending or whatever on the Blu-ray. I don't remember exactly all the specifics, but yeah.
All right. Well,
quickly, so they rewrote it, and I think they said something about having, this is where I'm worried about this one, because they said something about having influence on the modern day shit, because they tried to retroactively make the last film fit in with BLM riots and all that shit, remember?
Yeah.
And we were like, no, you guys shot this movie already before that happened. It just so happened that you happen to have a town going riot over a killer. Like, that is the only thing that's kind of similar, yeah, but yeah, in this respect, though, I'm more worried about this one being full on having some issues with it, because I think they're even supposed to acknowledge COVID happening in it, they said.
I hate when they do that, because it has nothing to do with the plot of the film. There's no reason to acknowledge those things. You're creating something that isn't, you're creating something that's now, it's not timeless, so it's irrelevancy.
before I came, by the way, did you cover that there's forward motion on the Dune, the Sisterhood series?
No,
No, that's the first I heard since
yeah.
Yeah, no,
cuts.
it's in Deadline Hollywood.
Oh, I just got it. Yeah, somebody just sent it to me here, actually. Yeah.
Emily Watson and Shirley Henderson to star in HBO Max series from Legendary.
Oh, I like her. She was in the reboot of Red Dragon.
Yes, and the reboot of the Pink Panther, but it was a different matter.
Oh, I tried to forget that, Andre.
Here it is. TV line. Dune prequel series at HBO Max adds Emily Watson to Sisterhood. Awesome. That'll work. Yeah, I guess
she's a good actress.
Shirley Henderson has also been added.
The Bene Gesserit have been always been fascinating to me. Says Denny's is still involved, obviously.
Yeah.
So
presumably it's going to share
this is his
with the movies.
Oh no, this is him back in 2019. But yeah, but it's set. To, let's see here. The part 2 is set to come out in November of next year. As reported by our sister site, Variety. Watson, whose previous TV credits, blah 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 blah. Let's see what Variety has to say. As you just said, Shirley Henderson and Emily Watts, officially titled Dune Sisterhood, which was ordered back in 2019. It's set 10,000 years before, blah, 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 blah.
It's the same showrunner as the last time we heard. Which is some woman I've never
Well, we
heard
got
about
this
before.
now. Valia Harkonnen and Henderson will play Tula Harkonnen. So they're playing Harkonnens.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. That'll be cool.
I don't recall right now how that fits with the canon of the Dune universe.
And the lady that you're referring to, Andre, is Diane Ademu Jean.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one.
Ademu
Jean.
I think it'd be. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of weird named people.
Well, and Harkonnen is like an everyday name.
Hey, by the end of it all, Dune did manage to get 400 million.
I know, isn't that amazing? And you and I were like, this thing could have made way more money. I think Andre. Yeah.
I don't know if it made $1 billion, but I bet it would have done twice that.
Well, I think that the pandemic actually bailed it out.
You could be right.
Yeah, because I think the movie would have underperformed relative to its budget in a normal situation. Whereas in the pandemic, it could hide behind the excuse of streaming and everything like that.
You know, you're probably right, Andre, for one simple reason besides all that. It would have went up against Top Gun, probably.
Yeah.
Because I think they were close to the same time and originally supposed to be released, if I remember right.
In a dogfight between Dune and Top Gun,
Top Gun is
going to come out on top.
Yeah, Sam of Dune says that it's set after the Machine Crusade.
Okay, yeah, that's good, because as long as it doesn't take the place of the Machine Crusade, but honestly, I would have vastly preferred a prequel series to actually be about the Machine Crusade, because that's actually a really interesting story. And I'm thinking, why the hell would you want to do another Battlestar Galactica? Just do the Machine Crusade. That is the Battlestar Galactica, just better.
Isn't that the reason there's confusion in the beginning of the old Dune? Is she says it's 10,000 years or whatever, but it was actually 10,000 years from the Machine Wars.
Yes, that's exactly right.
And it's 20,000 years from our actual age.
Yes, that's true. Because when she says it's the year 10,000, but and then we assume that the starting point is our year 0, but it isn't. There's a new year 0, and that's the aftermath of the Machine Wars, which is the new year 0 point.
Which is roughly 10,000 years in our future, and then it's another 10,000 years after that, right?
Exactly. So this series would then take roughly in the midpoint between our future and the world of Dune.
Yeah. So it'd be thousands of years after the war is what I'm thinking.
Wow.
Or at least it should be technically, at least.
There's some ridiculous timescales there. So Dune proper is between 20 and 30,000 years in our future.
Awesome one gives a suggestion. Dune prequel, Rise of the View.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not. I mean, we have enough stupidity as it is.
Yeah, let me hit some super chats here real quick. Magitech Mags was blushing because Tom and I were singing her praises just a few moments ago. Thank you for the $2 there. Pilgrim Media says, "Will Twitter kiss Elon after the deal closes?" I don't know. I think that he if he can prove after he's purchased it that there was actual fraud being committed in statements of that.
Well, wouldn't that be something he would go back after the fact though?
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sue whoever, but like all the people that are in the upper echelon, they're gonna cash out and fucking retire.
Yeah.
So a lot of those people are gonna be out of the equation. He's gonna bring in his new team. Exactly. And this is why I didn't have a whole lot to say about it earlier. It's like he's just gonna bring in his new team, and until we see what they do, I'm just gonna wait and see, because yes, I have a feeling it'll probably be a bit more free speech, but again, I'm still curious as to what his ends or means are going to be, because he's a billionaire, right? Like, again, yeah, at this point, he's seemingly on the side of free speech, but as was pointed out in that super chat earlier, he could just as easily use it for his own means as anybody else could when they have that much control.
What he said that I really liked is that compromise is basically when no one is happy. He has indicated that under his rule, the right and the left will be equally unhappy. And that's when you have balance, because that's when you have relative freedom of speech, and what you censor is the extremes and the personal attacks and stuff like that, and no one really gets fully their way, but like a happy medium. And for something like Twitter, that may be the best we can hope for. And just him saying that, him not promising that you are going to be happy, but rather, I promise you will be unhappy with what is to come, but you'll be unhappy, but you'll be equally unhappy. That's promising compared to how it is right now.
Yeah, I like that, but at the same time, I interpreted it slightly differently. It's everybody would be unhappy because of how much would be permitted, is kind of what I took away from that.
Another way to look at it. But as long as it's basically being treated relatively equal, as long as it's like freedom of expression of ideas, and there's like no things which are verboten, as it was the last few years here, where you have outright banned news which could change an election.
Yeah,
I mean someone needs to be taken in front of a firing squad for that. And likewise, certain narratives are like narratives which by now we know were completely false, relating to certain vaccines and origins of certain beer bugs and stuff like that. These things which were completely forbidden to even talk about. And then later it was like, oh yeah, sorry, we were wrong the whole time. Never mind, it's okay now.
Yeah, well, that's the biggest
controlling of narrative. As long as that stops, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, and that's the biggest problem that we're dealing with now, indeed. Darren Hughes for $10 says, "Hail Culture, Tom and Andre. How ironic the left is worried that if Elon buys Twitter and he can make whatever changes he wants, what they're worried about is that he could block them and their posts." I think to some degree that's fairly accurate.
I think that's exactly accurate. But yeah, sorry, carry on.
No, please. Tom, thoughts, cares, worries, comments?
How ironic is it the left is worried that if Elon buys Twitter and he can make whatever changes he wants, what they're worried about is he could block them in their posts.
What they're worried about is them losing the narrative.
I was just going to say, that's part of the final right? Is them losing the narrative, them losing control of the tool to and that's what scares me about Elon as well, and that's why I don't want to kind of let my guard down on that either, is because but on that side of it, as long as it's equal in a sense that I get what he's saying again, as far as the quote that Andre brought up. Then there's going to be, like I said earlier before he even got here, I think there's going to be a lot of people in the left who are going to vacate Twitter like they did the first time they heard about this, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Twitter got decent for a while there. It got tolerable.
Yeah.
So then we might have a few minutes of that, but then they'll be back.
I don't know. We'll see. But thank you, Darren, for the $10 super chat. Andre, did you want to add anything else?
I have really nothing to add other than, they're obviously afraid of losing the narrative.
Yeah. $2 from Pilgrim Media. Do you guys want Kiwi Farms to come back first? I really don't care. It wasn't a place that I ventured to find out what the latest stuff was. I'm not a drama guy. So I mean, a lot of people I know were concerned with that. It's just not my jam. Right. What I would prefer is that, these various things aren't used as weapons to control others, which is, I think, some of the problems around all of this, with people going after other people to deplatform them and things like that. I think weaponizing, carefully selected clips of things that's disingenuous. It's what the mainstream media does, which is why they're losing credibility. So when all the things went down with Kiwi Farms, other than like being informed by others through osmosis, because it wasn't really paying attention, I mean, the platform should have a right to exist, and as long as they're not doing anything illegal. See, that's kind of where I draw the line. Is this is a promotion of something that's very dangerous and very illegal? That's where I draw the line. I mean, when free speech, you just can't do anything about it. I'm sorry. I mean, outside of calls to violence, and like legitimate threats of violence, not hyperbolic statements like "I'm going to kill you." Well, if you live in 40 states away from me, how realistic is that? How much threat was that actually? It became something that was common parlance. I'm sure a sibling or two had used it with you. But when it comes to things like, shutting down speech, if there's credibility to a concern, then yeah, and anything that's actually illegal should be shut down. And that's it. Everything else is fair game. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Tom?
No, I have to just basically agree with that for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to say, I actually know very little about Kiwi Farms. Like
that's the thing, yeah.
It's not something I have actively used ever. Like I browsed it sometimes.
Yeah.
So like really all I know is that it does like gossip on people in our circles.
Yeah.
And that's really the extent of my awareness. And with that said, in principle, I don't mind Kiwi Farms. Like if someone wants to do like gossip on various YouTube personalities and stuff like that, in a sense, we're public persons, so have at it. I don't mind that in the slightest. I mean, it's like same thing with like YouTubers to talk about like people in our sphere. They're not doing anything different than what we're doing with Hollywood and stuff. Like I don't mind that either. Like where I draw the line is the same place where we would draw the line for us, which is basically like, you can talk, you can criticize, you can discuss, you can analyze, you can try to figure out. Of course, the moment when you get into like death threats and stuff like that, especially if there's like some weight behind them or something, then it needs to be shut down. But then you are at the limits of free speech anyway.
Right.
So I say you have free speech as long as you stay within that, which is basically your free speech ends where someone else's physical safety, career, livelihood like that begins.
Yeah.
Stay with that, and I'm fine with Kiwi Farms and anything else like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I basically look at it like, I barely know how to use Reddit or anything like that as much as we get accused of using shit from there, which is funny. Unless Andre has really referred to it in a anything that or it's referred to in a story that we're covering. Like
the only time we ever refer to is like, oh, here are these leaks, and either they are planted or they are.
And we make it clear that that's where we get them. Like it's not like we're hiding the fact or anything like that. And so as far as Kiwi Farms, like
source.
I was hardly even aware of what it was until like certain drama things came up. And I mean, I guess I'm a bigger star on Kiwi Farms than I even know of what Kiwi Farms is. Let's put it that way.
And I never paid attention to it, right?
To be honest, so in that sense, and what I did see that people sent me, what little I did read was all bullshit anyway. So to me, it's like, okay, so this is like the knitting circle of the internet. Okay, whatever.
I was disappointed I was not able to find anything about me on Kiwi Farms. Like, some references here and there, but I was like, well, I guess I must be fairly clean then, since like there's no coverage about me anywhere. But,
Yeah, I think we all try to steer clear of the drama stuff, but should they exist? Sure, as long as they're not breaking the laws. Sci-fi for me TV. Jason says that Kiwi Farms is already back up. I heard. Well, I haven't checked, and I probably wouldn't have even thought about it, other than like when there's something really ridiculous going on, and someone like Nick Ricator, somebody points out
exactly. Like, and even then, that's the only time I've ever really heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Glon Connor, I think I said that correctly, Andre, says free speech is the bedrock of our civilization. I agree. In Europe, including Norway, we have lost it years ago. Is that true, Andre?
That depends on what you want to say. And since I even have to say that, it depends on what you want to say.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of, a little bit. Like you can't go and say anything. You don't have quite the cancel culture thing in Norway, but there's a little bit of it. And if you are too extreme in any way, that's going to come back to haunt you. And so yeah, we are moving in that direction. So I'm not going to say that we are a complete free fall or anything. No, we're not. We are better off than certain of our neighbors. That we are. But do we have complete and total free speech? Nope, we don't. I wish I could say we did, but I'd be lying if I did.
Yeah, that's true.
We got some
We
news.
got some breaking news. Here's Johnny Depp Part 2, I guess. Angelina Jolie is alleging that Brad Pitt not only choked their child, but struck another in the face. This is just coming out from Variety.
Did he do this recently? Or did he do this 20 years ago?
I don't know. It says 2016 on a plane. So I would assume there have to be some other
why the fuck
witnesses?
Did she not say this in 2016?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Wasn't that like in the middle of Me Too and everything like that?
Yeah, and I think there was also some other stuff that was going around with them at that point in time too, because I think that was during the unsettling part that led to their relationship demise, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. This is disturbing. Russell Brand is leaving to Rumble. Oh, no. Okay. I thought he was leaving Rumble. No, he's actually, he's doing a Rumble. He puts everything up there first, and he got really upset with YouTube because they censored him, and he made a correction to the video, and that wasn't good enough for them.
What was it that he was censored for? I know that
he pulled something and said something out of context, and from in covering stuff, and he was essentially called out for misinformation by the platform.
All right, so basically he was saying something 100% factual.
Well,
because every single time you are called out for misinformation, it usually means that you were dead on.
Yeah, I don't know. But I do recall him saying that I think it was for something related to the inoculation. So
right, yeah, that would do it. And it was probably something accurate.
And Magitech wants to know, is 6 years later, is she losing money or is this legit? Have you seen her in anything?
Well, I do have a little bit more info here. Angelina Jolie has filed a countersuit against Brad Pitt amid their legal battle over Chateau Miraval, French winery the former couple bought more than a decade ago. The countersuit obtained by Variety finds Jolie's legal team revealing new details about an alleged altercation that took place between Pitt, Jolie, and their children on a plane in 2016, September of 2016.
New details coming out just now.
After the fact.
When she needs it the most, when she's on the losing side of something else, now suddenly these new details appeared.
Pitt filed a lawsuit against Jolie earlier this year, accusing her of violating contractual rights after she sold her half of the chateau without his knowledge. Jolie's lawyers claimed in the countersuit that discussions with Pitt's team about selling her side of the company broke down after he demanded she sign a non-disclosure agreement that would have contractually prohibited her from speaking outside of court about Pitt's physical and emotional abuse of her and their children. So she was probably planning some kind of tell-all book or something. According to the countersuit, Pitt choked one of the children and struck another in the face and grabbed Jolie by the head and shook her during a 2016 altercation. Jolie's lawyer states the dispute started when Pitt accused her of being too differential to their children, the two started fighting in the plane's bathroom.
Oh boy.
Okay. Pitt grabbed Jolie by the head and shook her, and then grabbed her shoulders and shook her again before pushing her into the bathroom wall. Countersuit reads, Pitt then punched the ceiling of the plane numerous times, prompting Jolie to leave the bathroom. And again, what does any of this shit have to do with that? Yeah. When one of the children verbally defended Jolie, Pitt lunged at his own child and grabbed him from behind to stop him. The countersuit states, to get Jolie off his back, Pitt threw himself backwards into the plane's seats, injuring Jolie's back and elbow. The children rushed in, all bravely tried to protect each other. Before it was over, Pitt choked one of the children and struck the other in the face. Some of the children pleaded to stop with Pitt to stop. They were all frightened. Many were crying. Jolie arranged for separate transportation at the airport to bring her and the children to a hotel without Pitt. The suit continues. Then went to wake Pitt up and told him that she and the children were going to a hotel. Pitt once again screamed at her and pushed her down yet again. As reported in August, Jolie was behind an anonymous 2016 lawsuit in which the plaintiff alleged being assaulted by her then husband on a private plane. The actor told FBI agent that Pitt physically and verbally assaulted her and their children, and the agent went on to meet with the assistant U.S. attorney. The agent concluded they would not pursue criminal charges, causing Jolie to anonymously file a Freedom of Information Act suit against the FBI in order to obtain documents related to federal investigation against Pitt. So basically what that sounds like is she already tried to have him get in trouble for this. The FBI themselves
Said, nah.
Investigated it and said, no, there's nothing here. So then she didn't like that and tried to pull an Amber Heard. And
Yeah.
okay. So anyway, not looking good for her is all I'm going to say. In the new countersuit, Jolie's lawyer states that the FBI agent who investigated the allegations had concluded the government had probable cause to charge Pitt with a federal crime for his conduct that day. But they didn't. They didn't, though. That's the thing. So, yeah, I'm with Magitech Mags. That's extremely sus. I mean, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I could never see anybody doing anything like that, right? Like, you never say never, but
yeah, exactly. We don't never say never, and always believe, but believe the evidence some more.
I can see this as being coming the next Amber versus Johnny.
It does seem to have some hallmarks of that. Yeah,
6 years later.
Very strategic.
Yeah. And it's crazy, but we've got a few more supers I've got to grab real quick, gentlemen. We've got one from Joshua for $1.99 saying, if you go by 70s fashion, everyone was gay.
I'd go more 80s fashion, but yeah.
I don't know. I've got some.
The 70s fashion was at least, well, in some disco, yes.
Yeah, I got some shirts.
But if you're talking just standard 70s, no. There was still pretty differentials between male and female. Now, once you get into the 80s, though, there's some questionable clothes.
True.
Like men were wearing cutoff tops and tight ass shorts and shit. Like, yeah. Looks a bit sus.
Yeah, you remember Rocky? Remember the shorts that we were wearing?
That's what I'm saying. After watching Rocky 3 again for Toxic Tuesday, I realized that this movie's gayer than Top Gun.
Yep.
And Top Gun to me was the gayest movie of the 80s, just beating out Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and they were trying. So,
yeah. Imagine take mags for $2. I've already seen algorithm changes on my Twitter. I tried to add words to that. Really? You know what? This happened the last time, right? Because they were trying to snuff the evidence, right? That they were actually banning people and stuff. I don't know. Maybe not. Who knows? It's interesting though that trying to find ways to get like the people that you follow to show up like in relatively like soon proximity to when they post. Because I'll get stuff that is related to Midnight's Edge or Gary or any of these other folks that I follow, like 2 or 3 days after they said them, like. When it's completely out of the cycle in my timeline. It just doesn't make sense.
Turo brings up the 70s mustache. Well, the thing is, the 70s mustache didn't become equated with the gay man until Freddie Mercury started wearing it in the 80s. Because before that, it was still pretty manly. Remember Magnum PI and all that shit? We used to call it the porno stash. then it became the gay man stash after like Freddie Mercury made it pretty famous. That was kind of it.
Yeah. Jason Gray's pointing out that I think Al Gore was responsible for this. Yes.
Al Gore is responsible for the internet, Rocky 3, and Freddie Mercury, probably.
Stevie J, like old NBA footage is like whoa, where's the rest of their shorts? Yeah, no kidding. Anyway,
I'm almost positive that we should all have been dead by now. Didn't Al Gore say something to that effect?
He destroyed Man Bear Pig.
Yeah, going back in time, Andre, before I was even born, there's a lot of information that says we'd be dead in 10 years, starting in like the 60s. So
I remember like some propaganda videos.
Now, if you ask them, they will say that it was because of all the changes that they made and fought for that got us this far.
Wrong.
Remember that.
Yeah. AT Falderu says in a member chat, more places need to be like 4chan. Yeah, 4chan's kind of the Wild West, to be honest.
Oh, there's 4chan too. That's another one. Yeah, and I don't understand any of these social media thingies.
Oh yeah, I know.
So seriously, nobody ever take anything personally with me on social media if I don't like something or what have you, because I don't know how to fucking use this shit half the time.
True. Well, let's see. We got this one from Apollomes. Hi, Apollomes. Drive safely, please. Apollomes says, media needs to be impartial to the news. Just report the news. Keep your opinions to yourself. I agree. But today, the AP was just on a, like everything that they were stating from the headlines to the contents of the stories was essentially opinion mixed with information. And again, that's not news. That's propaganda. It's very frustrating. Pilgrim for $2 says we were getting too close to the spooks and truth. That's true. Yeah, I think that's the thing, right? You know, you immediately have to remove the mechanisms in place to control the narrative, and you have to kind of dismantle that machine. The question is, where will they push to go next from Twitter if Elon imposes what he plans? And imagine this: how many people do you think need to actually be around to run Twitter, Andre?
10.
Yeah. I think 10's enough.
I don't think
I just had a fucking horrible thought. You said, where will they go next? Yeah. I hope they're not going to come for YouTube, because that's the biggest.
Well, then YouTube would essentially implode. To be honest with you, I mean, they're already putting creators behind the 8 ball, with, the way they've structured income.
They've been doing it for years, but they keep lining up that cue ball.
Yeah,
right in front of us, and they're doing it again and again and again, and it's going to happen one of these days. I don't think it's going to go well for them, and it might be part of the final don't get me wrong, but they'll try and take down somebody like Jeremy at the Quartering or Gary of Nerdrotic, and it won't go well. There'll be lawyers involved, and it'll get messy. It'll get in the media, and it'll just kind of show that they're just trying to tear down people's freedom of speech. And they're doing that. They're trying to build a narrative ahead of time.
Oh yeah, they've been doing that for a while.
They've been doing that for quite a while, and so it's just a matter of time before they try to actually pull it. Like, we know already that they've been trying to do it with Tug. He's part of that too because of all the shit with Amber Heard. Yeah. Her people have been trying to push for that too, and that's kind of where this all comes from. It's all kind of not the same people, but same idealistics.
Yeah,
or how we want to put it, ideals, whatever.
The ACLU is involved in a lot of stuff, and they no longer represent individuals' civil liberties. They are actually anti-civil liberties, the way they go.
Well, and here's the thing is the way I look at it. If we were really the pimple on the butt of society as they claim we are, then why do they give a shit?
I don't know. I know this Twitter thing's a big deal, and I agree with Andre. It was incredibly good news. It really was.
Absolutely best news all day.
Yeah, and this is important because this is for you, Andre, and Jordan Lee wanted you here today, and I'm glad.
No, I didn't see this. Somebody send this to us.
Is this an old clip or a new?
Well, he
clip?
was on there not too long ago. I know. I didn't watch the whole thing yet. I didn't get a chance to.
Yeah, when you get a chance, you probably want to take a look at it because I think Jordan Lee thinks that you'll have a reaction to it.
Okay, I know that Rogan has spoken about Conan before, how he read The Savage Sword, how brutal it was, much more brutal than the movie. if that's the clip, it's an old one, and I've seen it before. If it's a new one, I have not seen it.
I don't have the reference, so I will have to look it up as well. So, but yeah, with that, we're actually going to wind it up, I think, because I've got, unfortunately, a thing to record live with somebody for next week. Gentlemen, do you have anything to promote? You guys have been busy putting out stuff. What's going on?
Well, we've been busy putting up loads of clips, which we do now on Midnight's Edge Live Archives, with the best of the live shows. And on top of that, we have more videos coming. We haven't had like a regular video so far this month, but we have a couple in the works. I'm working on a post-mortem for Bros. That should be fun.
Oh wow!
So that should be coming relatively soon.
Excellent. Looking forward to that. Tom, Midnight's Edge After Dark tonight, right? Good talk.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. Yes, tonight in about just over 2 hours.
That's right. Yeah, so we're coming up on that, and I'm going to try to make an appearance, so Tom won't be mad at me this week. He didn't say anything. All right.
I'll believe it when you actually show up.
All right. I've had a great time today. We talked about very little, and
go take a nap so you can show up.
Important things. I have to go and do a thing with somebody like right after this, so which is being recorded for future release. But
does the wife know this?
No, not that. No, it's a video, not that.
She signed off clearances and shit.
You know what? I don't do stuff that gets me in trouble. That's how you make it this long. You stay out of trouble. It's easy to do. Seriously. Anyway. All right, guys. Be sure to take care of
my middle name.
Well, sometimes trouble comes for you, whether you want it to or not.
That's my life.
Yeah.
I'm boring. I'm old. So
we love you, Culture. Hey, check out Culture's shows. He does things on the streams. He's making a video. He's going to do it yourself, and he's going to show you how, because he's the bestest ever. And it's called the Mary Sue Channel.
What?
And he tells you how to do it. So there you go.
Oh, I'm fighting my own OCD because we're going to end. Everybody, have a great day. Thanks for being here. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye.